Welcome back to the Chosen 121. Today we have a little bit of a kind of a double video in one. So we're going to be doing our final NFL honors player award predictions and coach, I guess, not just player, and kind of our Super Bowl preview. Maybe some stats, some scores, who's going to win.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I don't want to talk about our playoff predictions that we did the last week. We're we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
But basically, no, we're not gonna. I just said we're not going to talk about it. Okay.
Yeah, that means we talk about it.
No, that means we don't. Just that. All that means is just fade. Like whatever my Super Bowl prediction is, do the opposite, and that'll probably be right. All right. Without further ado, I think we're going to kick it off with the Player of the Year awards.
And coach.
And well, obviously coach of the year as well. I can't forget about the coaches. Our boy Kevin Stefanski's still the defending champion right now. Not for long though.
The reigning champ.
The reigning champ. But all right, let's kick it off. You want to start with MVP or you want to save that for last?
I guess let's go MVP last. Let it build up a little. What do you want to?
Let's start with offensive player of the year. We'll do offensive and defensive player of the year.
Do you want to go first or?
Sure, I'll go first. This one's between two players for me. It's very, very clear cut. But I'm gonna go with Cooper Kupp, Los Angeles Rams.
This one, I would see where it would be between maybe a couple of guys for some people, but I mean Cooper Kupp all the way for me. Wide receiver, Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, the only person I really see that has a chance is Jonathan Taylor, but I think Kupp's got it.
What I think people slept on is I know they try to save like offensive player of the year for kind of skill players because MVP is such a quarterback's award, but Brady maybe for offensive player of the year, but maybe he'll win MVP also. So I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. All right, defensive player of the year. You can go ahead and kick this one off.
Yeah, I'll go first. So, TJ Watt's my defensive player of the year. I mean, clearly he was the best defensive player this year, but it's impressive that he did it in a 17-game season, but still less than 17 games because of a couple of injuries. But his stats were just so inflated in my opinion, just feasting on backups to backups to backups.
I agree with you there. He did go against a lot. I think he had like 4 or 5 sacks against the Chargers, like second or third string guy. Or no, that was Max Crosby. But he did go against a lot of backup right tackles. But he's absolutely deserving of defensive player of the year, and he's my defensive player of the year too. Tied Michael Strahan's sack record in 15 games and was an absolute beast. This one's not up for debate. Although I do think the runner-up will probably be Aaron Donald.
Yeah, Parsons is honestly up there though.
Parsons is up there too. All right, well that's a good transition then into the rookies.
Yeah.
Offensive and defensive rookie of the year.
You got offensive rookie of the year.
Offensive is again like these have all been pretty chalk right now. Jamar Chase has got this award locked up. There's not even a debate. Dude broke the NFL receiving record that his teammate Justin Jefferson just set. I know this award is a regular season award, but obviously he's like a huge reason why the Bengals are in the Super Bowl. This guy is probably the best receiver that we've seen since Julio Jones came out of Alabama, and he might even be better, to be honest. Jamar Chase is not even close.
Yeah. Everybody had started to hop on the Mac Jones hype train and the Mac Jones Patriots bandwagon. But I mean, all along I've been with Jamar Chase through the ups and downs. In some of my leagues for fantasy football, I traded for him during the terrible preseason. In some of my leagues, I made the hard choice to hold on to him, and it paid off. But really, I was always with Jamar Chase over Mac Jones, and then when he just went ballistic, the what was that, week 17? Especially he
Yeah.
went ballistic then. I mean, it just wasn't up for debate anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, Jamar Chase. And
Defense.
defensive, you could go ahead.
Well, I mean, you can. I think. Well, again, we're both gonna have the same person. You already mentioned his name earlier. Um, hailing from Penn State, Micah Parsons is your 2022, or is it 22? Yeah. Well,
No,
21,
this is the
22 defensive
21
player.
season.
21, 2021, 2022 defensive player of the year, 20, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. But it's Micah Parsons.
But yeah, this one, I mean, hey, obviously Micah Parsons is winning it, but give some honorable mentions to definitely Patrick Surtain. Trevon Moehrig did pretty well. There were definitely some good defensive players. I know this is a regular season award, but I saw something out of Gregory Rousseau in some of their playoff games. So great rookie season to those guys, but I mean Micah Parsons.
Yep. All right. Transitioning then into comeback player of the year, and then we'll follow that up with coach of the year before we get into MVP. I'll let you kick it off.
Comeback player of the year. I've just always thought Dak Prescott's pretty overrated. And I mean, yes, this is regular season as we keep saying, but I've had the same pick even before the postseason. Joe Burrow. I mean, Dak Prescott's just not that guy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, you started going down Dak Prescott. I thought it's Joe Burrow for sure for me as well.
Nick Bosa over Dak Prescott also.
Yeah, Nick Bosa would be my runner-up as well. He's different, man. Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr. That dude is the truth. Already taken his team to
On my notebook for comeback player of the year, I just put Burr.
Burr. Yeah, I like it. All right, coach of the year.
You can kick this one off.
All right, this is like the one
This is
true.
actually a tough one for me.
Yeah, this is the one true toss-up. All the other awards are pretty much like locks, like they're pretty much already guarantees. This is the one that I could see going a few ways, but I'm gonna give it to Mike Vrabel of the Tennessee Titans.
Okay, so I think it's interesting that you said that because I have Mike Vrabel from the Titans, but I think the popular pick is Matt LaFleur, which I was kind of in a toss-up with, who's been a very consistent coach for the last 3 years, who I'm not the hugest fan of because I mean, obviously he's been led by Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, he's clearly better than Mike McCarthy, who was, I mean, simply his record, if nothing else, shows so much improvement from the Mike McCarthy days. I mean, so you can't completely say he was carried by Rodgers, but I mean, I do think Vrabel deserves this.
Yeah, I think Zach Taylor of the Bengals should get some mention as well. He was my third guy. But I agree. I think Mike Vrabel did enough to win this one. All right. And that brings us to most valuable player. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, this one, yeah.
There's a lot of I think there's a favorite and then a second favorite, but I'm interested to see who you take. So, and I think this is your turn. So go ahead.
All right. So, I mean, you definitely got some good candidates. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, even Joe Burrow ended out the regular season very well, especially towards the end. Mike Glennon, yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think Aaron Rodgers is the favorite. Like when I was talking about favorites and second favorites, Rodgers is definitely the favorite. But I guess I'm gonna go with the person that I want to win more, and that's
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. I want Tom Brady to win so bad, to retire. That just not many guys in their 22nd, nobody I should say, in their 22nd year is going to retire. And like Peyton Manning, I mean, give him credit. He won the Super Bowl, but he was washed. He got carried. And Tom Brady's even way older, and for him to retire, if he were to win MVP the following, like maybe 2 weeks later ish, a little under 2 weeks, that would be absurd,
Yeah,
especially after his 22nd year.
and I think he's right as far as like actual comparison of the numbers. Like he's right there with Rodgers. I think there's a very compelling case
Yeah.
that
See,
he is the MVP.
the thing for me though is, I mean, I'm using a little bit of college football logic here, which is weird. But so they both had some pretty bad games against the regular season Saints. Aaron Rodgers was week 1, whereas Tom Brady had a much later bad game. So it's, fresher in people's memories. I would say, which like in college football, you're better off losing earlier on, but if you lose some of the last couple of weeks of the season, then that's kind of tough. But yeah, I just think they've both been so good this year, but just a lot of people, I mean, really just have forgotten about Aaron Rodgers' horrible game versus the Saints. Whereas, I mean, Brady's is fresh in minds.
Yeah,
So.
that's a good point. I agree with that as well. Um, but without further ado, that wraps up our predictions, our award predictions. We agreed on most of them except for MVP, which I would imagine you'll probably win, but we're not doing this for a bet.
Before we get into Super Bowl predictions, I did see the Niners are working on a Jimmy G trade. Trey Lance would have won them the Super Bowl, but I mean,
A little breaking news here on the Chosen 121's channel. The Niners are looking to move Jimmy Garoppolo.
yeah, I saw that alert. That's why I wanted to talk about it real quick.
Well, that's good. Trey Lance season should take full effect next year. I know that you and I are both huge Trey Lance fans, so
Yeah, I feel bad for Debo too. He left it all out there.
yeah, it's tough. But they'll be back, I'm sure. I think they've made the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl in 5 out of the last 10 years, so I don't really feel too bad for the Niners. All right. Well, let's transition. We'll just give Super Bowl predictions and if you have anything that you want to say, we can say it.
I guess it's your turn. You can.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to say the Cinderella story continues. And Joe Shiesty and Jamar. I think they get it done. And I'm as for score, I'll say it's going to be 31 to 24 Bengals.
All right. So, I've been thinking about this a little bit, and I really didn't come to a conclusion until probably 5 minutes ago. But I've been thinking Rams. I've definitely been thinking Rams, but you don't bet against Joe Burr. So we're going Cincinnati Bengals. Some quick stats that nobody asked for. Not that anybody's watching. Some privileges. So I have Joe Burrow throwing for a healthy 346 yards, 2.5. No, 2.5. Three total touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing is what I was trying to say. And then we got Jamar Chase, 136 receiving yards and one of his passing touchdowns. And the Bengals win in the first ever Super Bowl to go into double overtime. And it is, what is it? We got 42-38. The Rams get the ball first and second overtime. They get so I guess 41. It's 35-35 going into the second overtime. The Rams get the ball first, kick a field goal. Joe Burr scores his fourth total touchdown of the game with his third passing touchdown, which I forgot to say. I'm winging this and it does not make any sense, but it's okay. 41-38.
41-38. So you're expecting a shootout. I like it. That'd be a fun game. I hope it is. Like we can see Joe Burrow slice up that Rams defense just like you sliced up your eyebrow. That'll be good.
Shut up.
I had to bring it in. Well, anyway, that wraps it up. I think we got our predictions. You slaughtered me in the playoff predictions. I went 0 for 4 and completely messed that up.
We don't
But
talk.
hopefully we can make some redemption. I know we weren't going to talk about it, but I have to take my L and bounce back. So that has been another episode of the Chosen 121, or in this case, Nose Picker X, Jack Vandemotter of HTSP. It's been a pleasure.
You too, bud.
Peace.